10 seconds.
That's what I'm talking about.
You get the hang of her now, eh?
Oh yeah. Ready to go.
Yeah, we're good.
We good? All right,
Yeah.
man. This is Corey Lee's boxing, man, and we got another guest today, man. We got Todd Legacy back again, man, by popular demand.
Glad to be
Um,
back.
Todd Legacy, man. Tell the viewers what's up, man. You know where they can follow you.
They can follow me at Ty Legacy's boxing channel. It's just a channel where I do the same thing you see us doing here, just a couple guys shooting boxing ideas out. Good. The subjects are somewhat structured, but anything could pop up. So if you just want to listen to a chat or participate in a chat or in the live stream, whatever you want to do, just go to the channel. Sub, I put people on all the time.
Yeah, believe that, believe that. So yeah, man. Man, that's like like it says on the icon, man, it pretty much says, Ryan Garcia versus Fernando Vargas, man. So let's get into that, man. Highly touted Golden Boy prospect, man, seals the deal. It's awesome, man. He really showed out, man. He really showed himself tonight. He showed, why he's the #1 prospect of the year. He was rated ESPN prospect of the year, and he was that for a reason, man. He really showed out, man. Round one came, and they were filling each other out. It was a filling out process, and once his hands got the flying, man, it was pretty much, man, all she wrote, man. And like I said, man, Ryan Garcia hit him with a 1-2 that guy will never forget. You want to weigh in on it? Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, it was a solid fight. Good performance. I mean, the Garcia, you got a good jab. You know what I mean? Quick hands, good power, everything that I already knew. So it's a solid performance. He's definitely promising. Uh, I don't rain on any fighters parade. I mean, I'm not going to call him the king yet because I mean, if you fight lesser opponents, you can show you're good. A lot of people don't think you can, but you can because if you weren't good, you'd be competitive instead of taking them out in devastating fashion. To show that you're elite, you got to fight elite. But yeah, man, he's definitely promising. He did what he had to do. I find he did what he was supposed to do because I mean he's a knockout artist, and I mean dude was already KO'd 4 times, so I expected him to get the KO. I wasn't sure how quick because I didn't see too much of Buddy, but I'm not going to take away from him. I mean, it was a solid performance. I'm not going to critique it, but ESPN they're pushing their product, right? But I mean, he's definitely good. I'm not by no means saying he's not worth investing in. So we'll see, right? We'll see. It was a good performance.
Yeah, and like I said, man, I want to touch again on the whole prospect deal, man. I looked at that prospect list, man, and that prospect list of ESPN's been dead center lately, man. They had Felix Verdejo on that. If you would have watched the fights last week, he got stopped in devastating fashion,
Yeah.
and it was just pretty much like it was like a bang bang. He was in Felix Verdejo, to touch on that real quick, because he was prospect of the year about 2 3 years ago. And he got stopped in devastating form, and him and Lomachenko was on the list. And I think that was in the past 5 years. They brought up the past 5 years. Earl Spence was on the list.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, Earl Spence was on the list, and Ryan Garcia's on the list. And out of those guys, it was about out of about 5 guys. Two of the guys have one loss, which would be Felix Verdejo and Lomachenko, but they
Yeah.
were highly, highly doubted prospects, man. And to be honest with you, I didn't hear anything about Ryan Garcia in the amateurs. I didn't hear about him being, this world star athlete, and watch out for him in the amateur ranks, because Gary Russell Jr. and all of his brothers were in the amateur ranks, and I think one of his brothers is actually in the same weight division as Ryan Garcia, and that'll
Yeah.
be a tough fight. Them Baltimore dudes do not play. You can do all that laughing and playing from California. You come to be more, it's game time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
no, yeah, because those them Gary Russell brothers, them Russell brothers, they got fast twitch too. So I mean, if anybody's going to match his speed or give him some speed problems too that he ain't used to seeing, it's going to be them boys. He ain't going to be the only one that's fast in that ring with those guys. Well, with the one that's in the division with him, because all those boys are fast.
yeah, man, and that's another thing too I want to touch on, man. I think that Ryan Garcia, I could be high on Ryan Garcia right now, man. But with all due respect, man, I think he's got some of the fastest hands in boxing, man. I've seen some of his highlights. I've seen some of his Instagram posts, man, and I think he's got some of the fastest hands in boxing, man. I think he's a beast, man. And I think this will actually go further, in his career. The punching power will come, and it's so fucking unreal, dude, that the punching power is not even there. He hasn't even gotten his physical prime yet. He hasn't got none of his man strength yet.
Yeah,
And this is
good
something that
point.
I watched with the Charlo twins. They didn't have them devastating knockouts until they got their man strength. They started on the pro ranks at about 21 to 23. They didn't start getting those devastating, knockouts until the past, 2 years.
Yeah,
They went, one of the Charlos went neck and neck with Charlo. One of them was getting outboxed by, Jay, I know one of the William, the thing is, the Rock, Julian Rock Williams,
yeah.
some,
J
yeah,
Rock.
but J Rock, he was doing his thing and then he got clipped. But like I said, man, that man strength is something. Their man strength is something to really look forward to, man. I mean, because you got to understand, man, these guys are kids. That guy's young. He's only 20 years older, 18 or 19.
19. Yeah, 19.
Listen to me. This dude isn't old enough to drink yet,
Yeah,
and he's already on it, dude. So for him to be really on it like that, man, I'm really high on the guy, man. I think the guy is, an awesome competitor. This was for the NABF title. So for him being, fighting for the NABF title already is, that means the next title up is the world title.
uh,
I did that in my post fight video already that I already uploaded. And I did it, I mean, because that NABF, a lot of guys and a lot of highly touted prospects has the NABF title that he went through and had to get the NABF title. When they attain that title, the next title is a world title. I've
yeah.
seen this numerous times, dude. I've seen this. So for them to have the title already, that shows you that they're pushing this guy fast. He's only
Yes, sir.
19.
Yes.
He's only 19 with the NABF title, man. That says a lot about the guy, man. I think he's a
Yeah.
beast, man.
To touch
And
on his power, he definitely has power because his technique's good when he lets his punches off, and with speed comes power. But there's a couple questions for that for me to be answered. Like you
yeah,
said, developing his man state or his men's man strength because he's still young. And but then when we're gonna find out how much power he has, or if those KOs, if they stay consistent when he moves up in competition too, right? So it's a combination of both those, right? Like it's not guaranteed he's gonna be getting KOs like he is right now, right? It's similar to Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman to me is always
good
dangerous to
point.
knock you out. He's always dangerous. He's always
I think
dangerous to
if
knock you.
anybody
Hold on.
makes the adjustment, I think it's never mind.
Technical difficulties.
He's always dangerous to knock you out, Keith Thurman. But we seen when he stepped up in competition, he might not get everybody out there. But we'll see. He definitely got power.
Yeah, man, and that's what I was gonna touch on too, man. With the level of competition going up, man, I'm just curious to see, man. Is his attack, gonna be, warranted? Is he gonna be the real deal once, the level of competition goes up? Because with the level of competition that he's fighting now, the guy had 13 losses. I mean, I'm here to toot Ryan Garcia's horn all night long. No homo, pause, but he's got 13 losses. And I mean, it's apparent they're trying to push the guy, but at the same time, dude, you have 13 losses. So we can't get past that. You know what I mean? I mean, the
Yeah.
facts are you've been KO'd. Like my boy Ty Legacy told me in the chats, he said he got KO'd 4 times already before this happened, you know. But we're
Yeah.
not here to knock Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia did a hell of a job tonight. You know, more props to him, man. And you know, I just want to see if this guy Ryan Garcia is the real deal, man. You know, I mean, we're seeing it with, you know, D and C level class fighters. I'm not even sure if he's fought a C level fighter yet. What's your take on the opposition that he's faced?
Sea level.
C,
But to his credit, he's still in a development stage. So I never have no problem with people going through boxers being put through the process. To be put through the process to get in the fights that they're going to look good, to build their confidence and stuff like that. But it's like you said, we're not critiquing them. We're just calling it down the middle. Normally, I wouldn't even bring up the fact of the fellow's record that he fought tonight. But because they're sort of crowning this kid early, like we've seen other boxers, they're crowning them early, then it forces me to say, okay, well, let's slow the boat down for a minute. He is showing that he's not on their level because he's taking them out in devastating fashion. But let's not forget, Buddy had 13 to 15 losses and 4 KOs. He's been knocked out 4 times. So to me, what happened, it was supposed to happen.
yeah, and to touch on your point, man, you know, like you said, the guy had about 13 to 14 losses, man, and for him to have that many losses is pretty much like, they're pretty much putting these titles on board because they're backing him, and they're backing him pretty strong, man. For Oscar De La Hoya to show up to this event,
Yeah.
means a lot. And Golden Boy had all of the big timers and the big wigs at this, fight, man. They had more than just Oscar De La Hoya. They had the whole team was there, man. And for them to back him fully 100%, man, I think that's an awesome thing, man. Hold on real quick.
Yep.
I'm back. But yeah, I think for Golden Boy to back him, man, I think that's awesome, dude. And I think he's a highly touted prospect. And right now, I mean, he's probably making around probably 100,000 for this fight. I don't think he's nowhere near the millions yet. But I mean,
No.
if I were to put my money on him, I would definitely start investing. I would
Yep.
definitely invest now. I'm investing. I'm all aboard on investing on Ryan Garcia because Ryan Garcia is young. He's got the women going crazy. The half of the stadium or the at where are they at, Fantasy Springs?
I believe so.
Yeah, Fantasy Springs. I'm not sure how much that holds, like maybe 5,000, maybe 5 to 8,000. On a good day. I'm not sure. I know for sure, 8,000 wasn't in there in attendance, but he had well over 1,000 people in attendance today. And
Yep.
For him to have that many people and the majority of the people being women, I mean, that's a telltale sign he's sellable.
Oh yeah, he's definitely marketable. Golden Boy is not investing in you if you quit, if you can't be sold. So I mean, I would never hate on a guy doing well for himself. I mean, you got to have something for them to want to invest in you.
Yeah, man, and for Golden Boy right now, they're starting to build their stable back up. Finally, slowly but surely they're building their stable back up. Like I said, Ryan Garcia's finally, getting the recognition that he, needs to get right now. And Ronald Franco, I see you guys working the boxing talk, Corley Boxing. Hello, Ronald Finkel said, "What's up, yo?" Hey,
What's going
Ronald,
on,
man.
Ronald? What's
Ronald,
going
what's
on,
up?
Ronald? I
What's up,
talk to
Ronald?
him. I talk to him quite frequently in the Fanon channel.
Yeah, man. Ronald, this is the beginning of something special, man. I'm so dedicated, dude. I did a post-fight video before I went live, and then I had to you know, I had to wait on Utah Legacy. But I
Yeah.
mean, we had to get it in, you know, and I'm dedicated, dude. I'm not going anywhere. I'm putting pressure on a lot of these fuck boys out here, and I'm here, dude. I'm not going anywhere, dude. You know, and I know a lot of guys ain't really trying to have their hand out and let me get on their show and shit like that. And it's all good, man. We're going from the bottom up, dude, and we're here, dude. You
Yeah.
know, yeah,
I
man.
got a
So, you
channel.
know,
I got a channel too, Ronald. We just do uh, Google chats and stuff like that. Me and Trey, X and Sanctus, a few of us from the Fanon channel. So feel free to pop in there sometime, or even come on and speak. Long as you don't mind me, Corey, throwing my channel out there.
oh man, all day, man. You know, all day. I'm the first one to back anybody's channel that's on the show, man. If you're on the
Perfect.
show, you're on the show for a reason, man. You know, I'm not having any fuck boys on my channel, you
No,
know, and
I
any
hear you.
fucking fanboys on my channel. You know what I mean? So, you know, this is gonna be a channel of integrity, and this is gonna be, you know, a channel of, you know, dudes that really got a good mind on boxing. You know, the fanboys are not, you know, they're not allowed over here, man. We're gonna
No,
say no to.
I was selective on mine too. I was very selective in who I asked. I mean, and by fanboy, I don't mean you can't have of an opinion that's not mine, but you don't even gotta be that knowledgeable, but you gotta be willing to learn. You gotta be objective. You gotta know how to hold down the dialogue, right? If there's gonna be fanboys, it'd be fanboys in the comment section or whatever. That's fine. Go ahead. If it gets too crazy, I'll just delete it, right? But yeah, I'm with you on that. I like to have boxing talk. I'm not quite as good on the mic as you, Corey, at hosting and stuff, but I mean, I like to keep it a healthy boxing chat. You know what I mean?
Oh man, for sure, man. But yeah, Ronald, you know, I think we started a little. I think we started a little fast. No viewers were in yet, but to touch on what we've been talking about, man, we were talking about Ryan Garcia, man. Ryan Garcia is the real deal, you know. And we were pretty much what we were talking about is pretty much that Ryan Garcia is being backed by Golden Boy. You know, I've seen on shows, Golden Boy shows, where Oscar De La Hoya does not attend the fight. You know, not
Yeah.
only did Oscar De La Hoya attend the fight, man, he was doing interviews. He, you know, he was on, you know, he was, doing the fight by fight, and this is a telltale sign. That's why they put him in with this type of opponent. Oscar De La Hoya thought this guy was going to give Ryan Garcia rounds. If you listen to the fight, Oscar De La Hoya got caught by saying, "Yeah, this guy Fernando Vargas, we picked him to go rounds with Ryan Garcia, and that's what he's gonna do. This fight is gonna go a couple rounds, you know." Soon as he said that, I swear to you, Ryan Garcia clipped him with a 1-2, and that was all she wrote. While Oscar De La Hoya was on the mic, it was just beautiful, dude. And I was just like, wow, man, you know, for that to actually happen, you know, live on air, man. And it was just pretty much like one of those special moments that they could share, you know what I mean? And Oscar De La Hoya was just like, you know, when he came into the ring, he was just like, wow, man, you know, you went above and beyond what we thought you could do. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
we knew you were a good fighter, but for you to, you know, dispense it a guy in one round, man, and you know, it was just pretty much a beautiful thing. You know, it was a beautiful thing, and you know, big ups to Ryan Garcia and what he's got going on, and I seen that Ryan Garcia is, you know, he's moving up in the ranks. You know what I mean? I'm not sure what he's ranked right now, but like we were talking about, Ronald, um, we were pretty much saying that he was fighting for this at this he was fighting Fernando Vargas for the NABF title. And what we were saying is when you fight for that title, you pretty much your next fight is pretty much for a title shot, you know. And I
Yeah.
mean, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna hold on to the NABF title for a little while, and then you know I think he's. How far do you think he's away from the title shot? And then I'll relate to you.
You talking to Ronald?
Oh, I'm talking to you, man. Go ahead.
Oh, how far do I think he's away from a title shot?
Yeah.
If I was handling him, at least a year and a half, maybe even two. But I think he
How
might.
many fights?
I give him probably. They might have him going for a title. By the way, they're sounding. I wouldn't say any less than three.
You think
That's
in
just
3?
personal opinion. I think so. I wouldn't put it past them. They're pushing him pretty hard. I mean, they're already calling him King Ryan, and I know that's his trademark name, but they're treating him like he's a king.
Ronald Finkel said, "I heard it here first. Corey Lee boxing. Damn, that was quick KO." Yeah, man. Like I said, man, we're gonna put the pressure on some of these bigger channels, man. I mean, we're here, dude. We're not going anywhere. You know, I got the backing of my boy Ty Legacy, man. He was on my neck about doing these lives, man, and I'm here, dude. He did show me a lot of inspiration, and I did one live, and Ronald was right there, man. He was right there saying, how do I donate? Oh yeah, Brian. I mean, and Ronald, I started up my PayPal, so you can see my PayPal in the description if you want to donate to the channel. But I'm just doing it, man. This is what my passion, man. And I know y'all can probably hear on my voice, man. It's something that I like, man. I love boxing, man. And just because, so I can't really box anymore, man. I'm working so much, and this is just what I love to do, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been on other shows, and I just feel like, their insight is getting repetitive. They say the same shit every show, and it's just pretty much like I wanted to do my own show to show the fans, man. This is from a fighter's perspective, you know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
think and that's what I was gonna touch on too, man. Ryan Garcia, man, he got touched to the body too, and they said that in the interview. They was saying I see the guy was trying to go to the body, and he was like, yeah, I felt that. And then
Yeah.
so
He gave a pretty good, honest assessment of how he was feeling in that ring. He didn't do no bullshit or anything. He said he had a little bit of nervous energy, and he was a little bit impatient. He had to establish his jab. So I mean, a lot of people find him cocky to the point of arrogant, but I mean, he did give an honest assessment of what was going on in that ring at the time, what he was feeling. So I respect that.
Oh, okay, yeah. Ronald Finkel said he said you have a good back and forth dialect. Okay, I'm about to go back to my busy season. I definitely will hit you up. And then a guy Jesus Gonzalez said something in Spanish, which I don't understand.
No, I don't. I thought you were Spanish at one time, but
Yo, my bad, man. I'm learning Spanish more and more, man. But I didn't catch your drift, Jesus. If you wanna actually, tell us in English, man, I would love to hear what you got to say, man. But yeah, man. Ryan Garcia. I'm a fake Latino. I'm a fake Latino, man, but yeah, so for some of the new viewers and stuff, man, we're talking about he was like, we're talking about Ryan Garcia tonight, man. He had a devastating knockout tonight, man. And tell me, guys in the chat, let me know what you think about Ryan Garcia. Do you think he's the next, do you think he's the next, Julio Cesar Chavez? Do you think he's the next, big Mexican fighter, man? Because Ryan Garcia is Mexican, right?
uh, I want to say yes.
Okay, so yeah, he's Mexican, man. So for all the Spanish fans out there, it could be he's at 126 right now, and 126 is pretty, pretty touted right now, man. You got a pretty stable, pretty good, stable of fighters at 126, man. And right now they got Ryan Garcia listed at 57 in the world right now. So he's ranked 57 in the world. And that's, I guess that's not too bad, and the top guys, the top guys in Ryan Garcia's division are pretty much gonna be Vasil Lomachenko. So he must be, so he's fighting at super featherweight. So is that 130 or is that 125? I mean 126. Super featherweight.
I always thought it was 126.
That's what I was thinking, man. But oh yeah, it is 126. But since Vasil Lomachenko hasn't had a fight at 130 yet, because that's where he's moving up to, right? Or is he moving up to 135?
He
Vasil Lomachenko.
135 for Linares
Oh,
is
okay.
Lomachenko's next fight.
Well, maybe I think this fight might have been at one. I think this fight might have been at 130, man. Because I've seen with promoters that for young fighters, they'll fight at a weight class that they're not actually gonna win a title in, but
Yeah.
they'll actually fight in that weight class until, it's time to cut back the weight, and they'll actually go, back into the, the treadmill and do, what they have to do to cut that extra 4 to 5 pounds of body fat, and
Yeah.
they'll actually cut that back when it's time to win a world title, and they'll actually go ahead and do that, man. So for a guy like Ryan Garcia to have promoters like Golden Boy, man, I mean, he's got pretty much the premier Spanish backing, you know what I mean? It gets no better than that, man. He's a Mexican promoter with a Mexican superstar in Canelo, pretty much the hottest fighter in boxing.
Yeah.
And then you got Ryan Garcia. I seen in the post fight interview, Ryan Garcia, he snuck one in on us, man. He said he was going to be on the Canelo Triple G undercard. I don't know if y'all heard that.
Who said they were going to be under the Triple G? Who said that?
Ryan Garcia was saying something about being on a Triple G, and Triple G. He said, I hope this fight got me on the Triple G, and the Triple G and Canelo undercard. Pretty much is what he was trying to hint at.
Yeah.
I remember him saying
That'll be
something
good
about that.
exposure.
Oh
That'd be
yeah,
good
dude.
exposure.
Oh yeah, man. And that's pretty much like, the Floyd Mayweather when he fought Canelo Alvarez. If you remember, Danny Garcia was on he was, co-main in that, man, and he fought Lucas Matisse. So just imagine, man, what if we could get Ryan Garcia versus, a notable opponent, man? What if we can get him in there with, a pretty decent fighter, man? I think that'll be pretty awesome, dude. What do you think, man? Who do you think Ryan Garcia should fight next?
Well, this was his 14th fight.
14th fight. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of tricky. He's at a crossroads right now with fights right now. You know what I mean? I'm not fully sure if he's gonna, do it. You know what I mean? And Ronald Finkel was pretty much like, I know he was a Golden Boy prodigy. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know he is a young guy with a big future. And then Ronald Finkel said, "Can I ask you a question? Are they under 5% when they weigh in? I just remember when I ran track, how I had under when I was younger body fat." He's talking about body fat. So when you weigh in, it all depends on the fighter. I've seen fighters come in, every fight is different, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the elite champions, they're definitely gonna be, right at or under 5% body fat for sure. If you see like some of the worst weight cuts, since we're on that subject, is like David Lemieux, man. His eyes are sucked in. That's not healthy, dude. That's not
No.
healthy. You know what I'm saying? And some of those weight cuts like that, man, and you're fearing for your life, dude. I seen a guy in UFC. The guy is supposed to fight Conor McGregor. He's a Russian guy, but he pretty much fainted. He passed out and had to go, had to pull out of the fight, man. And that was his second time. Having weight problems. And he's
Yeah.
saying that he cuts weight fine, but the last 3 to 4 pounds, man, are awful. They're awful to cut, man. I've weight cutted before, dude. I didn't have to weight cut that much because I was right around that, that weight. But I mean,
Yeah.
dude, that I can only imagine what what the welterweights do. They walk around at 170, 180. They gotta cut down to 147.
Yeah. That's
And when they get at about 153, that from then on out, dude, is painful. It's sheer pain, dude. And that's not, so when they do interviews, like when they do pre-fight interviews, like right around the day of or the fight week, they're not in the best moods. They're far from the best moods.
You're dehydrated. You're hungry. You know what I mean? That's why you see them chewing gum and stuff a lot. That's why they chew that. That's why they chew gum.
Oh yeah.
It stops with hunger.
Ronald Finkel said, okay, cool knowledge, Corey. Thanks, man. Shout out to Ronald Finkel, man.
Yeah, I always got lucky. I always got lucky anytime, like if you fight down here where I'm at, you have like a 7 pound. You have a 7 pound like I'm trying to think of the word.
differential.
You could be within 7 pounds, right?
You
with
got
the
a
guy
yeah,
you're
okay.
fighting. So that kind of helps.
You got a 7 pound window is pretty much what you're trying to say.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit easier, but they do that too, uh, for health reasons too. Because I mean, dehydration's nothing to fuck with. Like if you don't rehydrate properly and the receptors in your brain and stuff are not hydrated properly, you can die, right? You can die by getting knocked out.
Oh yeah, man. That's what I was gonna touch base on too, man. When the guy actually fought in the UFC, he had to be, he was in the hospital for about, I think a week or two, straight hospital time, and this is an elite athlete. And man, the weight cuts that he, from what I've been told, he cuts down weight and he cuts down pretty much between 10 and 15 pounds the week
Yeah.
of, the week of, the week of.
Yeah.
When you're cutting 10 and 15 pounds the week of the fight, dude, to try to gain that weight back, because you're gaining an advantage. That's what you're doing in weight cutting. You're gaining an advantage, so when you do make that weight, the shit just shoots straight up. It just skyrockets right up, man. When you make
Yeah.
that weight, man. And for guys that don't know about weight cutting, man, it's very painful. They're pretty much in the worst shape. They're pretty much in the worst position, that you can find them in when they're weight cutting. And that's what I was saying. Ryan Garcia doesn't look like he has a hard weight cut at all. He looks like he's right around, what he fights at. You know
Yeah, he
what I
looks
mean?
comfortable for sure. He looks comfortable.
Yeah, to touch again on Ryan Garcia, I think he's fighting at 126, but if some of the viewers in the chat could tell me if I'm wrong, but I think he fought this fight at 130, but I think he's trying to fight at 126. So,
Well, I'm reading here. It says super featherweight is contested between 126 and 130,
okay, so it is around 130. Okay,
which
that's what
kind of
I
makes
was thinking.
sense. Is which kind of makes sense because Ryan Garcia has been having Tank Davis's name in his mouth lately, so that
Oh,
makes sense.
that's another thing too, man. That's another topic I don't mind. I was gonna touch on a little later, man. But since you brought him up, might as well
Yep.
bring him out, man. What do you feel like that could happen? I mean, and I don't like to get caught up in the whole, I just seen the guy fight, so I'm high on him right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
No, I hear you.
let's be honest. Javante Davis is definitely ahead of Ryan Garcia. That's my personal opinion because
Yeah,
he's been a world champion. And I think when you get to that world champion level, it's a whole different level. And I think a lot of guys have criticized Javante Davis for missing weight. I think I feel like he lost that fight, man, because they've been crucifying Javante Davis from missing weight. And like I said, man, that weight cut is no joke, man. And from what I heard, Javante Davis had outside problems. His brother pretty much came into the gym, and Javante Davis had legal problems leading up to that fight, so that made him actually not make the weight. But they're saying that Ryan Garcia is really, really wants to fight Javante Davis. But your thoughts on it?
well, the first thing comes to mind is Ryan Garcia. I mean, he's a good fighter. I already touched on that earlier. But the very first thing that came to mind when I seen the first clip of Ryan Garcia bringing up Tank is if I could critique him in any way from what I seen, is when he throws his punches, and it could be multiple punches or single punches, could be a jab. But when Ryan Garcia throws his punches, watch him next time. He has his chin up. He lifts his chin up when he's throwing a punch. If you're gonna have Tank coming out of your mouth, then you better start tucking that chin, because if you don't with Tank, it's gonna end up in the third row. That was the first thing that came to mind. I think he should have a couple more fights before he starts touching up on Tank, because Tank's a body puncher too, but Tank's a devastating body puncher. He's not just a devastating body puncher, but he's a consistent one. That's the key, right? Like you could be a hard body puncher, but it's if you're consistent, and he's very consistent going up and down stairs with his hands. He changes levels. You know what I mean? We all know he has power. I think he got more power than Garcia, but yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind was tuck that fucking chin if you're gonna get going in there with Tank Davis, because if you don't, you're gonna have problems.
Oh yeah, so to touch on that, man, my next opponent for Ryan Garcia, since he is the NABF champion right now. I think a good matchup for Ryan Garcia to be, because they're saying that he's going to be fighting on a Triple G Canelo undercard. They're already talking about that. That's something that Ryan Garcia wants. So I'm pretty sure, for Golden Boy seeing this performance, I'm pretty sure they're willing to get a kid whatever he wants. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And for him to give him whatever he wants, he's got to fight a notable opponent for this fight, man. This is a huge pay-per-view fight. It's gonna be a highly televised fight. It's on a Mexican holiday. Ryan Garcia is a Mexican fighter. It only makes sense, bro.
I think it makes sense too, though, Corey, that they might put him in there with somebody too that he does look good against, like they did. I think they might go that route too, because then that guarantee
Dude,
looks good, right?
the perfect opponent. And I'm not taking anything away from the guy I'm ready to name, but the perfect opponent for Ryan Garcia at this point in his career, I honestly think it'd be a guy like Johnny Gonzalez, man. Johnny Gonzalez is a Mexican veteran that will go toe to toe with you, and he gave Mares one of his first losses, man. If you
Yeah.
remember, he knocked out Mares. Mares is now fighting for the belt against Leo Santa Cruz in a rematch that he lost. He was never able to avenge that Johnny Gonzalez loss, but then again, Johnny Gonzalez got the brakes beat off of him by Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah.
So my personal opinion is he's a name fighter. He's very known in the Mexican community, and I personally think Johnny Gonzalez would be a formidable opponent for Ryan Garcia. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that's not a bad matchup. That's better than Gary Russell Jr. Let's not go there yet. I ain't
Oh
even
no.
gonna say nothing. The man just got a knockout and he just won tonight. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I think that's a good matchup. I think that's a good suggestion, Corey. You did a good job on that. But it's better than Gary Russell Jr. I'll just leave it at
Or
that.
or 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 another Mexican fighter that's on the chopping block right now, that's in retirement, that but actually has said that he's not going to retire, is a guy like Orlando Salido. He gave Vasyl Lomachenko his loss, and I mean, if he just imagine if he beats a guy like Orlando Salido, man, I feel like he's really going to be on the chopping block. I mean, he's really going to, his name is going to, I feel like if he fights a Mexican, or no, it doesn't even have to be a Mexican. If he fights a fighter that is going to be in the top 10, or close to the top 10, man, I think, man, his career just blossoms from there on out, because I honestly think that Golden Boy is going to put him in with a name fighter for the Golovkin Canelo. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion, man.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it can go both ways. It just depends on how they want to go about it.
Yeah, man, and like I said, man, he's got a guy like he's then you got a guy that's being promoted by you got a guy that's being promoted by Golden Boy like Gary. You got Yorkie's Gamboa.
Yeah,
Gamboa's out there too. He's towards the trail end of his career, but he's definitely out there right now, man, and Baltimore SK, Tank Davis is the man. Can't wait to see him fight on the AB card. Your boy Baltimore SK is in here, man. Shout out to
yeah.
Baltimore SK, man. What's up, man? So you said Tank Davis is the man? If he can make weight, he's the man.
Shout out Baltimore. I see. That's another fella I talk to once in a while in the in Fanon's, because we all usually connect to Fanon. I think I may even seen him on my channel. I don't know, but if you're not, feel free to subscribe. But shout out, brother.
Sure, man. So yeah, what do you guys think in the comment section? Do you think Ryan Garcia should take his career slow, or do you think they should actually speed it up? I think when he won that title, the NABF title, I think he's actually going to be on a little bit of fast track. I think in the next 4 or 5 fights, he will be fighting for a title. That's my personal opinion, man. Like I said, I mean, pretty much most of the fighters that I've seen in the past, when they win that belt, the very next fight is for a title. I don't think his very next fight will be for a title, but
No.
I think, and it's going to be so awesome to see his career, because the champions that are champions now are, most of them are around 30, around 30 or 30 and up, the champions that are in his division now. And it'll be great to see in the next 2 to 3 years, catching some of those champions at the tail end of their career in his division. I think he would do an awesome job against some of those older champions, man. You got a bunch of champions out there right now, man. And I think, he would do good. You got Miguel Burchett in that division. You got Miguel Roman in that division. You got Francisco Vargas, Vasil Lomachenko. You
Yeah.
got, Jason Sosa. That was the guy that fought a Lomachenko. Edner Cherry. Edner Cherry just came off of a split decision win. And you got a pretty, I mean, to be honest with you. Oh, and then you got the guy Tevin Farmer. If you remember him, Tevin Farmer. That was
Yeah.
Javante Davis's foe.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy like this would be a good fight for him too. You got a guy like Steven Smith. That's some of the Smith brothers. Colin Smith, that's in the
Yeah.
World Boxing Series. That's his little brother.
Yeah.
I think if Ryan Garcia could fight one of those guys, I think that'll be actually a pretty good fight for him, man. You
Yeah. I'd
know.
keep him around there. I'd keep him around those guys before like Burchelt and stuff. I'd let him develop a little bit more because experience is a thing too, right? If
Oh
I was
yeah.
handling them, if I was handling them.
Oh yeah. And then, like I said, man, this guy that he fought today. I mean, let's not toot Ryan Garcia's horn too fucking much on this show. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't
exactly.
mind tooting it a little bit, but let's be serious. The guy he fought had fucking about 15 losses. I mean, we're gonna
Yeah.
be honest. We're gonna state the facts on this show. We're not gonna bullshit around. We're not gonna hop on the Ryan Garcia bandwagon without seeing him within a formidable opponent. I think his speed though, man, and for him to have the speed, and he has a little bit of power. I think me saying he has a little bit of power. I think he'll pretty much I think even the champions right now would probably respect his power. Me being personal, you know what I mean? Me being a personal, boxer myself. But I mean, I just think that me seeing him and seeing the quickness and feints that he does, man, he doesn't rush his punches neither, man. If you notice that about him, I mean, he picks his punches very cleanly.
Yeah.
And like I said, man, to be honest with you, Ryan Garcia's, I wouldn't say he's gonna be the next Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., but you know, to be honest with you, he's on his way to being somebody special, man, for sure, man. He's packing crowds in where was that, New York tonight?
I believe so.
So that was in New York. He's from California, so he's packing a New York show, and he's from California. Just imagine if he had a homecoming show by himself in California. I think he could
Yeah.
really, really do some good numbers, man. I think, and it doesn't even have to have a title on the line, man. The guy has plenty of women, and coming to his shows, and he has a fucking fan base on Instagram. I mean, he goes Instagram famous, dude, on some of the some of the highlights that he puts on there.
Yeah. Well, he's
Like he's
19 years old. That's the way to promote. That's the way to promote. You know what I mean? That's the only world he really knows. If you think about it, he's fucking 19 years old. You know what I mean? Dude's got me up here feeling old.
Nah, man, but
I was
the guy.
21 years old when he was born, man. So
But
there you
yeah,
go.
man. But yeah, man. Little knowledge from Ty Legacy over there. Shout out Ty Legacy, man. But yeah, man. Ryan Garcia is definitely young, but I feel like anything he posts on Instagram goes viral, man. I mean, he posts a punch in a punching bag and a speed bag, and it goes viral. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
like when Canelo was hitting the speed bag, his little thing with the elbow and he turned around, that went viral. I mean, I just think those Mexican fans, man, they back their Mexican fighters like no other. They're almost close as the Mexican fans are pretty much the next best thing to those UK fans, man. Those UK fans are rabid, dude. Them UK fans don't fuck around, dude.
No, I think, I mean, people have the beefs with them in the comment sections and stuff, but if you got to give them credit, I think they may be, if they're not the top, they're very close. They may be the most loyal
Oh,
fucking fan.
Ronald Finkley in the chat said it seems to be a consistent half easy route of fights gradually all the time,
Yeah,
gains the experience and levels needed. Just my thoughts, guys. Ha 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 ha. Then he
yeah,
says
no, he's
pretty
right.
much real fans. He
There's
said
the process.
in
The process.
Baltimore SK said pretty much. So I mean, is he pretty much saying the fans are pretty much there for him? What do you take out of that?
No, I think what he's saying is that because he put it seems to be a consistent half easy rate of fights gradually all the time, gains experience and levels needed. And he's right. He's talking about I believe what he's talking about is in and how they develop fighters on the way up.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for
Which is right.
sure.
There's a process for well, not for everybody, but for 3 quarters, there is a process. It's like a slim line in between. It's not cherry picking, it's developing, but it's the next thing below that. But it's not cherry picking because you're developing. It's almost like if you start in the amateurs, your first 10 fights, you cannot fight somebody with 10 fights, or you can't fight somebody with over 10 fights because you need to gain that experience, and then you develop at before the then you develop after 10 fights, and then you're in open class, right? It's the same idea.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Definitely in the amateur ranks, they try to put you in fights where you'll have a winnable chance.
Oh yeah,
And
and he's
that's
talking about Ryan Garcia, but yeah, that yeah, what you're seeing is what's going on.
yeah, man, Ryan, like I said, man, Ryan Garcia, after this performance, dude, I mean, even his handlers thought he was gonna go a couple rounds with the guy he was in there with, man. And that's saying a lot because Golden Boy, I'm not gonna say that, man. That's another thing, man. Golden Boy, I think Golden Boy's handlers are a little bit better than top ranks. Me saying that they put their fighters in fights that they're gonna win, but they put their fighters in fights that we want to see. You know what I mean? Like when Amir Khan fought Canelo, we didn't really typically want to see it, but if we had it, we'll see it. Like we'll actually. And then you had the UK fans that paid to see it. It was a
Yeah,
sellable fight. I think Canelo is a sellable, and I think they're pretty much doing everything they're doing to Canelo. They're doing the same. They're building him up the same way as Ryan Garcia.
yeah,
I think me and mark my words, Joe. Don't be surprised if you see him fighting at in Canelo Triple G undercard. Don't be surprised if you see him fighting an ex world champion. Mark my words. Mark my
yeah, because
words.
we all know they'll go to crazy lengths to sell a fight. Because you even touched on Khan and Canelo, and I don't know if anybody sees me in the comment sections. Most of these people would see me in Fanon, but I am strictly religious with acclimation processes. Like weight divisions matter. And when I seen that Khan and Canelo fight, I just shook my fucking head. Like I'm like, why is people looking at this shit like it's even going to be competitive? But Golden Boy did sell that shit. You know what I mean? So there's you will know the lengths that they go to, and they don't have a whole stable. They get a cash cow in Canelo, so I mean they don't have that. They don't have a whole stable of fighters, so you know what I mean. They're making an investment. I mean Canelo's not that old, but I mean 10 years goes by quick. So in 10 years, Ryan Garcia be what 20 fucking 9. You know what
And
I
that's
mean?
it,
So
and that's another thing. Not to cut you out. That's another thing, man. They're building a guy's career at a very young age, man. This is where you catch. This is actually where you get your. This is actually where promoters do their job when the fighters are this young. When they get them when they're fucking undefeated, they're very young and they get them early. That's when a
yep,
promoter can do his job and the fighter has to put out. You know, everything that Golden Boy has asked Ryan Garcia to do, he has done, and he has done with flying colors, dude.
yeah,
Even being a televised, I don't know if you've seen it. It went Instagram famous. That's another one that went Instagram famous with your boy Ryan Garcia. He knocked the guy out in less than 30 seconds. Did you see that fight?
yeah. I did. Not too many fights I missed. I seen them fight. Yeah,
I mean, wow, dude. I don't care if the guy was, you know what I mean, like, 21 and 19. I mean, he knocked the guy out in 30 seconds. I mean, come on, man.
yeah.
I mean, the guy had a winning record. I mean, but that's just like, wow. I mean, he has power. I think the guy has power, but he's just so
Yeah.
linky. He's so linky, and he's got the reach too, though. That'll work in his favor. He has a pretty good reach, and that's another thing. If he was to fight Javante Davis, I think he would give Javante Davis problems because Javante Davis is a lot shorter and stockier than him.
Yeah.
And when we've yet to see how Ryan Garcia's inside fighting is, and we pretty much been yet to see what Ryan Garcia would do with an ex-world champion or even a B-class level fighter. You know what I mean?
That's just the
Like,
truth.
what'd you say?
I said that's just the truth. What you just said.
Oh yeah, man. And like I said, man, like I said, the guy Ronald Finkel said, your partners speak the truth, no holding back, and laugh out loud.
Yeah, I got in trouble for it a couple times. I got in a couple squabbles for doing that a couple times, but you can't change a fucking trained horse, the man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So like I was saying earlier, man, I think, for him to be calling out, Javante Davis at this point in his career, I think he's reaching after seeing his performance. We pretty much didn't see anything in Ryan Garcia tonight. We've seen how he can knock out a highly touted journeyman. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I mean, even Tank could step up the competition a little bit too. But I mean, I've still seen Tank in more fights, and I still seen Tank in there with some dudes that are more credible than Ryan Garcia. So I by no means would pick Ryan Garcia to beat Tank right now.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing, man. I kind of want to get on Tank Davis right now, man. Did you see the comments that Tank Davis made about Deontay Wilder, saying that Deontay Wilder was pretty much, not really a good fighter? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? What are your
Oh,
thoughts on a guy like that saying that about a heavyweight that can pretty much punch him one time and he'll pretty much go into your neighborhood from the US? You're in Canada.
well, it's his opinion. It's his opinion, and I like Tank, so but it's his opinion. That's a day we're in where anybody can have a voice. But
Uh-oh.
when Deontay Wilder fought Ortiz, he fought a world class opponent. So Tank hasn't done that yet, and that's not shitting on Tank. Tank, I think Tank is the goods, but he hasn't fought a world class opponent yet. And I mean, he didn't fight Lomachenko when he had the title. That could be on Mayweather. I'm not accusing anybody of ducking, but basically what I'm saying in a nutshell is why you're really critiquing a guy that's doing something that you haven't done yet. That's not to say he won't do it or he's not capable of doing it, but he has not done it yet. So to me, it's be like if you go walk a tightrope, Corey, and I don't, why would I critique how you're walking a tightrope? If that makes any sense.
Oh yeah, man, for sure, man. I mean, I just think right now, man. I think he's at a point in time right now where he's just pretty much trying to soul search, man. I mean, he's saying that. I remember Javante Davis at one point was saying, "Fuck, fuck, Adrian Broner, fuck everything about Adrian Broner." You know what I mean? If I see him, I'm gonna hurt him. I remember him saying stuff like that, and him and Adrian Broner beefing and shit like that. And now they're training, and now they're training now. So. You know what I mean? You can only take but so much from a guy that's that young. We've all made mistakes, in our
Yeah.
20s that we would probably would like to take back that we can't take back. But like I said, man, he's a young, I would say rich. I think he would be in a better tax bracket than me and you. I mean, to be honest, I mean, and
I'm
I
doing
mean,
Google, I'm doing Google Chats on a fucking $2 or on a dollar store platform, man. So
yeah.
probably it's probably safe to say.
Yes, I mean he's doing pretty good for himself, and I mean, who's to say that money isn't getting to him? I mean, Javante Davis has made some pretty good money in his lifetime. So far leading up to his career. He's already a champion. He defended his belt one time. He went over there to England and he fought the guy. What's his name? Josh Smith. Forgot the guy. Javante Davis went over there and fought, but he put on a hell of a performance. He walked to the ring as Michael Jackson. He's got Floyd Mayweather backing him. And that's another thing, man. This would be a great fight, man, building up. Javante Davis versus Ryan Garcia. You got Oscar De La Hoya right here, and then you
Holy
got
fuck.
Floyd Mayweather right here. Boom.
I'm almost wondering if that's a motivating factor, if he's being given initiative to do that, or if it's on his own accord. Because I mean, we all know with the Mayweather name comes recognition from the public. So you can't attach your name to Tank Davis without being in some way, shape, or form attached to Mayweather. So I'm almost wondering if that's an initiative. Now, whether Oscar De La Hoya and Mayweather could work together, I don't know because Oscar's not been liking Floyd for years. But I mean, we know Floyd likes money, so and Oscar likes money, so they might get along for the short amount of time they got to do to make a fight. But I mean, I was thinking about that too. Like, there's other people in that division that Ryan Garcia could be mentioning if he's going to mention Tank. But I mean, with Tank, you can't talk about Tank without having Floyd attached to it.
Yeah, man, and like I said, man, Ryan Garcia having Javante Davis name in his mouth. I mean, Javante Davis is no sleeper, dude. He gives a lot of guys problems.
Yep.
I think he pretty much beats everybody in his weight class, but Vasyl Lomachenko at this point in my life. In his life. Here we stand in 2018, and he missed weight one time, and a lot of guys, a lot of fans have, beat him down for that, man, and saying that he wasn't a professional doing that, and he was very unprofessional, and they shamed him for that, and he's caught a lot of heat for that, and justifiably so, but at some point, the guy didn't lose the fight. The guy didn't try to go in there as an advantage. He wanted to keep his fucking belt. So to be honest with you, I feel like he lost everything in that fight, not the fans. I
Yeah.
mean, the fans still seen a good fight. They still seen him win, knock the guy out. And it wasn't a 12-round snoozer. The guy Javante Davis comes out there to fight. And when he fights, he's trying to knock your fucking head off, dude. He's
Yeah.
not trying to come in there and pity pat with you and use range and distance. He's coming there to, he's coming in there to pretty much shoot the shit with you and close corners. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's trying to be inside the square circle. You know what I mean? I think, man, Javante Davis has a vicious side to him that a lot of us haven't seen, dude. You know what I mean? I seen the DJ Vlad video, where he actually, the guy Baltimore SK said Ryan Garcia fights at 130 question mark. He fought this fight around 130. Yes, sir, he did. And that's why he's got Javante Davis's name in his fucking mouth, because he wants to fight that guy. But he's barking up a tree at this point in my life and at this point in their life. I don't see him beating Javante Davis right now. Ryan Garcia needs to sit his ass down for a couple more fights, learn a little bit, get his pro career, moving forward a little bit more, and then call out Javante Davis. I think it's premature to be calling out Javante Davis's name if you're Ryan Garcia. You haven't won a belt. Far as you've gotten is pretty much with C-class level fighters, and that's not to say a whole lot about your career so far. So fall back with the whole calling out deal, and when we see you fight a guy that has a great name and that we can respect instead of Francisco Vargas that has a good name but has an awful record, but when we see you fight a guy that has a reasonable record and has a reasonable, following, then we'll give you praise. We're giving you praise right now because you're a prospect, but you're trying to go after a champion, a proven champion at that. I think Javante Davis can speak highly of himself. He's very young, and until Jose Benavidez Jr. won that belt, he was the youngest champion in the world.
Yeah.
Javante Davis was the youngest active champion in the whole world. That says a whole lot about your career, dude. And for you
Yeah.
to call out a guy that's, Ryan Garcia, he might be around your age. Yes, he might be around your age. But y'all are on two totally different levels, dude. You need to get your level up. You know what I mean? How you're playing like Street Fighter, you need to get your level up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. And he is at 130 because he's a super featherweight.
Oh, Cali Enigma just joined the chat, man. What's up, Cali? He's a good fan, man.
What's going on, Callie? We connected earlier. Nice to see you.
And Ryan, he pretty much says in the chat, he says Ryan Garcia will get stretched by Tank, and possibly ruin his career. Great point, Cali Enigma. Great point, man. And that's what we've been talking about. We're talking about Ryan Garcia. He just fought. A lot of guys are making hoop and hollerings. His knockout went viral already. I did my post fight. I'm pretty sure it's over 100 views already. I just did it about an hour ago. It's just he's a sellable fighter. He's a very sellable fighter, and so is Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is a very sellable fighter, man. If these guys stay undefeated, in the next year or two, they're on a collision course, dude. I'm being
Yeah, oh,
completely
yeah,
honest
for
with you.
sure.
They're
Yeah,
on a
they are.
collision course, and I mean the money's gonna be there. You got Golden Boy back in Ryan, and you got TMT Floyd Mayweather back in Gervonta Davis. Man, it gets no better than that, man. I mean, you got two of the premier promoters in the game promoting some of the young faces of the game. These are the two, young bulls or young pit bulls, should I say, of their division and of boxing right now. These guys are young. Ryan Garcia is starting to get his name known. His paydays are starting to grow, and I just honestly think he's barking up the wrong tree fighting Tank, man.
I think it's marketing myself because, like I said, he attaches himself to Tank. Tank's somewhat of a name. Floyd's a huge name. I think it's just marketing. Because why?
Cali,
What you didn't hear?
Cali,
You never even heard Tank mentioned after this fight. You know what I mean? You never heard him saying he wanted Tank or anything like that. So usually when you hear somebody mention somebody's name after a fight, because that they want that to be the next fight after the one they just had, and you never heard anything about Tank tonight. So I think it's more marketing right now. I think he's willing to do it, and they're willing to put him in there with him, but not right now. I wouldn't put him in there right now with him. Not quite
so
yet.
So we got the chat going cam right now, man. You got your boy World Breaker fighting. Say what's up, brothers, and you got Cali Enigma saying and Oscar De La Hoya won't allow to fight Tank Davis this early in his career, and then you got Baltimore SK saying I don't see them hooking up for a while. It's too risky for both, in my opinion.
I think it's more risky for Ryan, but the Cali said made a good point. He said in 2 years, in my opinion, Davis will be too big for the division, and I agree with him. I'm not saying Ryan Garcia is a ducker, but I mean, in a way, if you look at it, especially with him saying the Cali making that good point, he's
Shout
kind of
out
a safe
Cali.
he's kind of a safe name to say out of your mouth because by the time you get around to having it, Tank might be too big, right? Because Tank is thick, even for that division. They don't call him Tank for no reason.
Yeah, I think honestly, by the time Ryan Garcia gets to a world class level and a world championship under his belt, Gervonta Davis will definitely be out of his division, you know, and that's the
Yeah,
honest to God truth. I'm not hating on the guy. I'm not hating on the guy, you know what I mean? And I honestly think that, Ryan Garcia has a great future, but for Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia to cross paths, they're gonna have to cross paths within the next year or two because Gervonta Davis is gonna be leaving the division very, very soon.
yeah, yeah,
He's already missed weight. He's came in overweight, weight that he could not get off. He called Floyd Mayweather the night of and Al Heyman and said, man, I can't make the weight. Floyd Mayweather said, try to make the weight, try to get, some of the pounds off. I think he
yeah,
was about 3 pounds shy that night. He
yeah,
tried to get it out. He said he stopped sweating. When you stop sweating, that's a telltale sign. You better stop trying, dude, because you're ready to faint. You're ready to pass out, dude. And it ain't
yeah.
gonna be pretty, dude. A
The
lot of
human body
guys,
don't have sweat, you're in trouble.
he said he stopped sweating. The guy, Black Horseman Promotion, shout out Black Horseman Promotion. He said, laugh out loud, what's up? He was losing the round before the knockout. Davis would stop Ryan early for sure, but he looking strong though. Shout out Black Horseman, man, and So yeah, I mean, I honestly think he was winning the fight before he got stopped. I think Ryan Garcia had full control of the round. He got hit with a couple good body shots. And then as soon as Oscar De La Hoya grabbed the mic, he had to swallow that motherfucker because he said yeah, Ryan Garcia's in with a good fighter. He's gonna go a couple rounds. Bang! That's when it happened, dude. As soon as he
Yeah, he
said
pulled
that.
that. He pulled that. We're just about to take him out of the cage, like Chris Algieri with Pacquiao. I'm gonna pull him out the cage. I'm gonna let him out the cage right now, and
Yeah,
then whap, down goes Algieri. He's
yeah.
out of the fucking cage, all right. He's in the dumpster. As soon as Buddy said that, he got thrown in the fucking trash.
Oh.
You remember that? You remember that when they were
Yeah, I
doing the
remember.
Pacquiao and Algieri fight? I'm just. Don't you worry. I'm just gonna pull him out of the cage. And as soon as he said that, fucking Algieri pivoted
Oh,
to his left,
shit.
and fucking Pacquiao whap, and that was the end of that shit. He out the cage, all right. You better put him back
Damn,
in there
man.
where it's safe.
That was a throwback right there. Shout out Ty Legacy, man. Springing him out the cage.
Keep him in
Yeah,
there. Keep him in there where it's safe. Should have kept him in there.
man. So Cali Enigma says in the chat, that fight is likely a catch weight in 3 years. Davis versus Garcia. Ronald Finkler said that was crazy how his coach exposed how Jerry laughed my ass off. I mean, that was too funny, dude. You brought that shit way back, dude. That was Algieri, dude. Shout out to Chris Algieri. I haven't seen him since the Earl Spence loss, man. But shout out Chris
Probably still got a
Algieri, man.
concussion.
Oh,
Probably
dude,
still got a concussion.
he got brutally knocked out by Earl Spence, man. So yeah, man, Tank Davis is we can move on. I mean, since they're pretty much relative the same in the same division, they're right around the same fighter. They're right around this, the same times in their career. I think Gervonta Davis just got moved fast because Mayweather wanted to see what he could do. He wanted to see what he had. And I don't blame Floyd Mayweather. He's investing a lot of money in these TMT fighters. And to be completely honest with you, none of his TMT fighters have lived up to anything that he's put in for him. You know what I mean? And he's pretty much like, you guys want to get paid like me, but you guys don't put out like me. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what he told all his fighters. TMT stable is in shambles right now. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for Badu Jack and Gervonta Davis, what fucking stable do they really have? You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
honestly think TMT needs to go check themselves. And I think he needs to re-up on the fighters. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yeah.
because go ahead.
Yeah. We're on the same wavelength because I was just gonna say that, like, he only has so many fighters that are being productive as right now. Like the TMT squad, they don't have the greatest track record, not to shit on them.
And you got guys in TMT, you got guys like Badu Jack, you got Ronald Gravel. Ronald Gravel gave, Benavidez, all he could handle his first fight. This second fight with Jose Benavidez Jr., he got the brakes beat off of him, if not retired him. This
Yeah.
dude won't come back for a couple of months, if not years. I mean, he got the shit beat out of him that fight. The Benavidez showed that he was a 168-pound threat to any other champions. This dude solidified why he won the first fight. It was a split decision the first fight. That's why, it was no rematch clause. But because you have, Floyd Mayweather backing you, there was a rematch clause, if you
Yeah.
get my drift.
Yeah, I get
You
it.
know? And I mean, for that to happen, I mean, you got TMT, dude, is pretty much, and I can respect fucking Floyd Mayweather, dude, and in this aspect. He's not putting his fighters in easy. He's not putting his fighters in easy. He
No.
is not putting his fighters in easy. TMT is putting, Floyd Mayweather is putting his fighters in the way he was put in. Hard.
Yep.
And now, I want to see what the fuck you can do now. You're 20-0. All right, you're going for it. You're going for the NABF, and then we're putting you in for a title shot. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yep.
think Gervonta Davis has, just like I was telling you earlier about Ryan Garcia, I think Gervonta Davis pretty much held up to everything that, Floyd Mayweather put in front of him, man. You know what I'm saying? Cali Nigga says Floyd promotes himself. That's the problem. They're pretty much saying Black Horseman Promotions said TMT equals trash, me, trash. So and then Baltimore SK says Devin Haney is a hot prospect out of the TMT gym.
Agreed. Agreed.
How do you feel about Devin Haney, man? You think he's a pretty good? You think he's a formidable?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I like Devin. He gonna have to go through the process like everybody else. I ain't crowning anybody elite to they get to elite. But yeah, no, I like Devin Haney. I think he's solid. My opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Devin Haney was pretty good, man. When I seen him fighting, sparring guys like Sean Porter, I've
Yeah,
seen, guys, and I've seen Floyd Mayweather Sr. training Devin Haney, man. And when I seen Devin Haney training, he talks a lot of shit, just like Ryan Garcia and just like Javante Davis, man. But this is a new wave of fighters, man. They got mouth games on them, and they're not afraid to use it. And they're in the social media game strong. So for all these old fighters that want to claim they claim to fame is they beat older champions. Some of these old champions have got to fight these young hot prospects, if not champions. Some of these young guys are champions now. You got like a guys like Jose Benavidez, 19 champion, Javante Davis like 20 champion. And I mean, these guys have got to fight some of the top guys. I mean, you know what I mean? And like I said, like I was saying earlier, you know what I'm saying? I think Floyd Mayweather needs a TMT makeover, man. His fighters, dude, are just haven't been putting out, what I thought they were gonna put out. You know what I mean? You got guys like Jay Leon Love getting knocked the fuck out, getting sparked by Porky Medina. I mean,
yeah,
legs shaking on the ground. It was a brutal knockout, and he hasn't came back from it yet. He had a couple tune-up fights, but that's it. No guys of name yet.
yeah,
Pretty much Baltimore SK said he said Devin Haney is yeah, I read that. And then he said Black Horseman said Stevenson's keep calling him out. It says Shakur Stevenson's keep calling him out, talking about Devin Haney. And
yeah.
then Ronald Finkley said he got some dog in him, Devin do so far. And then Cali Enigma said Devin Haney, Oakland. I have to he said I have to back my hometown fighter. Oh, shout out Oakland from Oakland. Shout out Oakland, man. You got Cali Enigma in the house, and you got Ronnie Fingal, Black Horseman. Shout out y'all, man. But yeah, keep hitting us with the questions. But yeah, man, I think right now, man, Devin Haney's in a good position in his career. He hasn't had that signature fight, nor has he had a whole lot of exposure on TV.
No,
That's one thing you're gonna get with Golden Boy. You're gonna get a lot of exposure on TV, and you're gonna do a lot of great things, with Golden Boy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
If not get a belt with Golden Boy, you know what I mean? And that's why some of those fighters that went with Al Heyman, when Al Heyman took his 250 fighters, you had some guys stay back with Golden Boy, like hold on, wait, I'm actually gonna ride this out and see what happens, man. Your
yeah,
thoughts?
yeah. You pretty well summed it up for me, man. Like I know you asked for my thoughts, but you pretty well just summed it up, Corey. I would just be reiterating what you're saying.
Yeah, man, and like I said, Javante Davis is fighting his next fight. Javante Davis is he's Javante Davis right now is 19-0, 18 KOs. He's ranked right now number 4 in his division. He's a lightweight. He's actually a southpaw. I'm pretty sure a lot of you diehards know he's a southpaw, but for the ones that don't and call themselves diehards, but I mean, like I said, I mean, I know a southpaw right off jump when I see him because I'm southpaw, and I
Yeah,
know it's just a unique, it's a unique stance that they have, and I just automatically catch on to it. That's when I seen when Terrence Crawford went left-handed on Yorkios Gamboa. I was like, hold on, man, what the fuck is he doing? You know what I'm saying? It gave him all types of problems, dude, and
you
I
know
was just
why?
like,
You know why he did that?
what's up?
Not to, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You know
Oh, you
why?
great. Good.
You know one of the big reasons why Crawford did that? Why he switched southpaw?
Mm-hmm.
Because on the southpaw, what you want to hit them with, you want to hit them with straight right hands.
Oh, that's another thing too, man. Cali Enigma brought up a fucking the point of the day, dude. And this is actually who I've been really wanted to talk about tonight, man. But Ryan Garcia was on the menu.
Yep.
He said Ramirez versus Progress is going to happen for sure. Progress by KO. That's gonna be a hot fucking fight, dude. Yo, what are your
Yep.
thoughts on the Progress, man? How do you think it, and how do you got Ramirez after his win just now?
Yeah, they both look good. It's got to happen. because Regis is mandatory anyways. So it's a good fight. I think they're both ready for that fight. I liked Regis's last performance. He did get touched. See, they're comparing Regis's performance to Crawford, but I don't. Crawford took longer to get him out of there. Crawford took less damage, but he did. He still looked good. Ndongo does not get nearly enough credit. If you look at who Ndongo lost to, he lost to Terrence Crawford, who's pound for pound number one in my books by body of work, and he
You had
lost.
ESPN had Lomachenko, but keep going.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about. I give a fuck about ESPN about as much as I do Stephen A. fucking Smith. I'd rather stick my head in the fucking snowbank back there than listen to them. But yeah, Ndongo only lost to Regis and Crawford, right? The thing about Ndongo is he has skills. He swings a little wide. He's not really sharp with his shots. But that man fought overseas so many times, and people know what it's like. People know how hard it is to win overseas. So it's a good win for Regis. Ramirez looked good. So let's see the fucking fight. I like both their jabs. I find Regis goes to the body a bit more and more consistently and efficiently. But let's see it. I'll sit there and think about that. I'll think about that tomorrow, and then I'll even give you a pick.
All right, yeah, man. Great take on it, man. Shout out your boy Ty Legacy, man, coming through with the great breakdown, man. But yeah, man. My take on the whole deal is I think Ramirez. I was laughing my ass off when I seen Fernando live on the Fight to Fight. Play by play on the fight. He pretty much had Ramirez losing to the 10th round, dude. It was funny as shit, dude. I was like, damn, dude. You're not giving your boy Ramirez no love, dude, and then he finally, bowed down and said, Ramirez won and it was a good win and all that. But
Oh yeah, he
shout
won.
out for man. He was bashing the shit out of Ramirez for like half the fight. Yeah.
I
But
picked
yeah,
Ramirez.
man.
I picked Ramirez to win too, just to state it on the record. A lot of people went with the mirror. I picked Ramirez. It's on my channel.
Yeah, no, Cali Enigma, shout out Cali Enigma. He was like, I don't think Ramirez has game-changing power, but he has power, but by accumulation, like type power. He's like,
Yep.
he said it's an exciting fight. Abel Sanchez is wrong. Progress is a flat-footed fighter. You think Abel likes him? Oh, so what is he saying? Abel Sanchez said that Progress isn't really a good fighter or something, or
Fuck
did he
Abel
said it?
Sanchez.
Oh, shit. God damn, dude.
Sorry to
Uh,
answer his question. Abel
Yo,
Sanchez,
where did that come from, man? What you got against Abel, dude? Damn.
he fucking runs his mouth and he's inconsistent. You know what I mean? He's just inconsistent. I don't want to change the topic, right? But I can
Yeah.
give you a few reasons, but
Oh, Ronald Finkley said, "I like this back and forth setup. I'm rolling Ryan Garcia talk all the way around." He was like, "It should be some great news this week coming next." And then Cal Enigma said, "No, he said black fighters are born."
he's
Yeah, I mean,
fucking born.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure. You know what's the funny thing too is, man, not to switch it up, but I'm pretty sure Abel Sanchez has been rocked, dude, by some vicious hooks by Triple G missing the mitts on purpose, dude. I mean, I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying, dude. I'm just saying, dude. Probably, I'm pretty sure, Abel Sanchez looks like one of those type of trainers that gets on his fighters' nerves, dude, just like every fucking day. Like I gotta wake up and hear this dude's shit. I can't wait to knock my opponent out. You know what I mean? I gotta hear this dude's shit for 3 months.
Well,
But
they seem to have good chemistry, and any of the buildups are 24/7s or whatever. But I guess you're gonna have a good relationship when a motherfucker looks like Cheech off Cheech and Chong, man, and he fucking talks like that.
God damn, dude. Ty Legacy, shout out. But yeah, man, to get back onto the whole, Ramirez and Progress fight, I think Jose Ramirez showed a good account of himself, man. You know what I mean? And I honestly think Ramirez did pretty good, with that fight. He showed that he could fight in the inside,
Yep.
and that he showed that he could, take, he could Amir Iman's best shot, dude. They said that Amir Iman hits like a fucking rock.
He
You know
does.
what I'm saying? Paulie Malignaggi said that, he sparred Amir Iman, and that was the second hardest that he's ever been hit, dude. And he's been in the fights with world champions. He got walked through by Sean Porter. They
Yep.
said Amir Iman hits that hard. Ramirez took every shot he had. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And more. And
It was
pretty much Ronald Finkel said Abel is this 168-pound champion. Remember? Abel crazy. Triple G way out there. He said with the war talk, Cali Enigma. He said he's crying laughing with the coughing. And then Ronald Finkel said the Cali Enigma on some war Bible type shit. Cali Enigma said exactly. Black Horseman Promotions said Amir didn't look that strong. Ramirez walked through that shit. Yeah, that's what I wanted to go on, man. Shout out to my boy Black Horseman Promotions, man. Shout him out. But yeah, man, that's what I want to go on, man. Ramirez was a good, strong Mexican fighter, man. He brought his A game, and that shows you that the black fighters, style, pretty much like Abel Sanchez, can be exciting. That was an exciting fight, man. I thought I got my money's worth. You know what I mean?
enjoyed it.
I got my ESPN subscriptions worth, you know what I mean? And I think that was actually one of the better Bob Harum put together fights on ESPN, if not the best this year. For sure, the best this year. For sure.
It was a good fight. It was a good fight. Ramirez did well. He stayed the course. He stayed consistent. He didn't flow away from the game plan. From a tactical point of view, and I'm not saying that Ramirez didn't do well, but Amir made it somewhat easy for him because from a tactical point of view, if you go back and watch that fight, Amir, when he did elect to go on the inside, he would keep his jab hand low. That's why he was getting caught with that. That's why he was getting caught with that right. And if you go back and watch that fight, Amir was throwing an up jab, but when he was throwing the up jab, he wasn't throwing it from a safe enough distance. So that's why that right hand came into play. So I mean, he helped Ramirez out, but you still got to give credit to Ramirez because you got to see the shots and know what punches to throw yourself, right? So he just offset what Ramirez was doing wrong. But that, from a tactical standpoint, that's what I've seen in that fight.
And that's another thing, Ty Legacy, man. I want to fucking say, dude, whoever taught this guy fucking Amir Iman to fight like Floyd Mayweather, give that shit up, dude. You were getting the shit beat out of you. Doing that shoulder roll, your fucking shoulder part felt like it was gonna fall off. He was tapping that shoulder all night, and then most of the time he would get past the shoulder and just hit him in his forehead, because when you do the shoulder roll like this, you pretty much are getting hit right here on the head,
Yeah.
And I mean, the way it's going down, Amir Iman is just subject to get hit, dude, the whole fight with that Philly shell type style that he has. I don't think that Amir Iman poses a threat to any strong Mexican fighter out there, especially anybody that's coming out of Robert Garcia's camp, because he trains in Mexicans like hell, dude. You get to Mikey Garcia, you got the likes of Maidana, you know what I mean? I mean, a lot of those guys will give Amir Iman big time problems, And I mean, they were talking about the winner of this fight fighting Mikey Garcia. Amir Iman gets shredded by Mikey Garcia. Oh my God.
Yeah, I would pick Mikey for that.
Oh my God. And then Black Horseman says sometimes boxers got to live right, live better. And then Black Horseman says Amir looked like Apollo Creed at the end of the fight. Oh shit. And then Cali Enigma says Amon's corner had no game plan. Ronald Finkel said, damn, Black, laugh out loud. That's getting beat up right there. Bad. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too, man. Amir Iman's got to go back to the drawing board and he's got to get a new corner. The corner that Amir Iman had that night was awful. They didn't give him any game plan, any direction. I mean, he was pretty much all over the place. They were telling him to, throw some body blows, but if you throw a body blow, you're subject to get knocked the fuck out because this guy was on your ass, dude. He was
Yeah.
on your ass. Jose Ramirez was not letting him breathe. And that's another thing, man. Can Progress, you know, deal with the pressure? Because these are two pressure fighters, and when you have two pressure fighters, somebody is gonna go like this for a little while, but somebody's gonna have to have the back foot. Somebody's
Yeah.
gonna have to have the back foot. It's not gonna go mano a mano the whole fucking night. I
No.
honestly think that Progress can fight off his back foot. I've seen him fight off his back foot. And I think Jose Ramirez can fight off his back foot. They're not just flat out bangers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've seen Jose Ramirez in that Amir Imam fight fought off his back foot. And you got a guy like Progress that is lined up to fight Jose Ramirez. It's going down. But Bob Arum has already said that he's fighting in California. Jose Ramirez, his next fight will be in California at a baseball stadium. And he's pretty much not Progress is not gonna be fighting him. So
Yeah.
Top Rank is steering Jose Ramirez completely around Progress, man. How do you guys feel about that in the chat, man?
I'll be right back there, Corey. Hold her down.
All right. So how do you guys feel about that in the chat, man? Top Rank is pretty much steering Progress away from Jose Ramirez, man. Black Baltimore SK said, I got to go. I'll catch up with y'all later. All right, peace. And then he says, Cali Enigma says, he said Black Horseman says bitch behavior. Bitch behavior by Top Rank. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing too. Black Horseman promotions. I mean, Top Rank is he time after time, dude. They go back and forth, you know what I mean, with Top Rank. What is he a good promoter? Is he not a good promoter? They put on a good show with the Amir Iman, Jose Ramirez because they were forced to. You know what I mean? If it was up to Top Rank, he would not be fighting no Amir Iman. That was too much of a high risk, low reward, And then he had to deal with, an old ass Don King, which I know he probably still hates from the Ali era, And me personally, I thought it was an excellent fight, but it was a fight that, to be honest with you, Top Rank really didn't want, man. I didn't think if Top Rank had it in their head for Jose Ramirez to fight somebody else for that WB strap and not be mandated to fight him, he would go. He would, pay somebody some step aside money because that's what he's gonna do. Progress. He's
Can
gonna
I
give Progress some step aside money, dude.
I just
Go ahead.
can I step in for a minute?
Go ahead. It's yours.
I just seen in the chat room it says, I think it's Julio. Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, but you said Ramirez makes money, Prograis doesn't, and Prograis can't sell weed in Houston. But the thing is with that may be true, but he's the mandatory, so like that don't have any bearings if whether they fight or not, right? They still got to fight if it's mandated.
Some guy named Julio Ocho said Prograis can't sell a weed in Houston. What the hell are you talking about?
He don't got to though. All you got to do is be in the position. It's It's mandatory. You don't mandatory goes by position. It don't go by how much tickets you sell.
Yeah,
I was just wondering where he was coming from.
yeah, man. So pretty much, man, Cali Enigma was like that was the condition we put in for the two fights, which said the winners were going to have to face each other. And now we will see Jose Ramirez and Regis Progress facing each other to
Yeah,
leave
they got to fight.
only one champ, explained Suleiman to ESPN Deportes. Oh, so he's pretty much saying that Jose Suleiman is sad to see that we gotta have two, young hot guys fighting each other with undefeated, records, but they have to fight each other. I'm
They
fucking
got
with
to.
Jose Suleiman on this one. I'm feeling that, man. I'm
So am
feeling
I. So am I, man.
big ups to
So am I.
Jose Suleiman, man, for saying that shit, dude. That's what's up. And
Yep.
Black Horseman Promotion says Joshua ducked Ortiz. He was a mandatory, but that was a different mandatory, man. I think WBC's. I think, and I just my personal opinion, y'all. So don't kill me for this. But I think that the WBC does their. I think I like their sanctioning bodies because I think they do their mandatories different than all other sanctioning bodies. You see, Canelo had to give up his belt because he didn't want to fight Golovkin at the time, and they didn't give a fuck. He relinquished the belt, and he, later on fought Golovkin. But if you remember, before he fought Golovkin, he fucking did away with that shit. And then when he fought Golovkin, he didn't. If he won, he didn't claim the WBC. He didn't pay any of the sanctioning fees to fight him, and he didn't give a fuck. The WBC belt was not on the line for Canelo Golovkin won, and that was because the WBC forced Canelo to fight Triple G, and Canelo said no.
Yep.
And what the fuck did the comment section have to say? He said, oh, okay, good insight. Wow, shake my head. That's what Ronald Finkel said. Shout out Ronald Finkel. He said, Cal Enigma said, yeah, they have to fight. And then Ochoa said, laugh out loud, this is a newbie channel. Man, this guy, get him out of here, man. Why you gotta hate on my channel for, man? I'm gonna put you on timeout, man. Let you think about that, and then you can come back. It's my first time out, y'all.
Okay, hold on a sec. It's a newbie channel, but when
You're
there's
on
two guys,
timeout, dude.
man, it's a newbie channel, but when there's two guys mandated to fight each other, we're going on about ticket sales, or he's going on about ticket sales.
Yeah.
Think about that for a minute. Think about
Yeah.
that for a second.
Yeah,
Nowhere's in the rankings. I can tell you the rankings right off the top of my head. Newbie channel or not, I ain't a newbie channel. I got 14 videos, but nowhere's in the rankings when it puts a guy in a position, in a mandatory position, do they put a dollar sign behind it and tell you what the man yearly salary is? You want to know why? Because it's irrelevant.
Yeah, I mean, Ochoa probably had a bad day, man. He was probably rooting for Francisco Vargas to win that fight against Ryan Garcia, and he actually probably lost his money at the casino where the fight was actually held at. I'm sorry, Ochoa,
Yeah.
but this is not a newbie channel, It's a fastly going up and coming channel that's very diverse, and we give our perspectives on what's coming up. If you don't like it, man, the door is right beside you. You can definitely see your way out, buddy. But this is a fun, loving, caring channel. Definitely voice your opinion. I don't have to like it, but saying shit like that will get you timed out and then blocked forever. You be the judge. Moving forward, y'all. Moving forward.
How's he supposed to make money? How's he supposed to make money if he doesn't get to fight his mandatories? And then I'll elevate his name. That's just my take on it.
Yo, Cali Enigma said, he said, I hate all that trolls and the stupid fucking casuals.
I
Shout
don't
out,
want to judge. I don't want to judge a guy too quick because I don't really know his intent on
yeah,
it.
I
But
don't know. Yeah.
for any trolls that want to speak box, and I'm not above being wrong, man. We could do it here. We can do it on Corey's channel. We can do it on my channel. But if you come on my channel, like I said, I'm not saying I'm an expert. I know some things I like because I try not to speak unless I know what I'm speaking about. But I mean, if you want to come on the show, you could come on the show. You're more than welcome.
Yeah,
But
Ronald,
it will be recorded. So if you ain't coming correct, then it's going to be on public record, and it is going to be public.
yeah, so Ronald Finkel said knowledge sports for the people to get raw and uncut updates. Shout out, man. Thanks, man. Shout out to Ronald Finkel, man. Thanks. And then Black Horseman Promotion says, what's your channel's name? He's talking about you,
Oh,
Time Legacy.
Ty Legacy's boxing. It's usually me, Sanctus, and Trey X from Fanon, knowledgeable brothers that been in the ring. Not that I'm saying you got to be in the ring to have an opinion, but it does help. And all three of us been in there. Ty Legacy's boxing channel. It's not bad. Just a couple of guys shooting the shit. Feel free
Shout out.
to jump in.
Shout out Ty Legacy, man. Like I said, man, I'm just a new channel, man. But I played the background for a long time, man, and a lot of guys, I was a guest host on Ringside Reporter for many years. I was actually on the Boxing Voice. So I pay my dues. I've been in this, game, commentating and doing my backstage, thing, man. And I think it was time for me to make a channel, man. So that's what I did. A lot of guys gave me the A-OK to push forward. I'm very knowledgeable on the sport of boxing. And so that's all I gotta say, man. But shout out to the trolls. Without you, we won't be hated on, man. So we kind of need y'all in some aspects. But that's about it, man. So yeah, back to our normal programming, man. So yeah, Javante Davis, man, I think, he's an excellent fighter, and his next fight is versus Jesus Salar. What's his name, y'all? The guy
Yeah.
Javante Davis is fighting next. What's his name?
Uh,
His name is Jesus Andres Silar.
yeah.
He's 28-2. Two of those losses won by KO. So he's actually been knocked out before. Finished. His last fight was against Abner Mares. That was a split decision loss, y'all. So he actually lost that fight against Abner Mares. And now he's fighting Javante Davis, man. Javante Davis, at the time, Javante Davis is only 19-0. So this guy has way more fights than him. He has over 30 fights, over him. He's as 166 rounds, as opposed to Javante Davis only having 61 rounds. So I honestly think that this will be I think this will be a better fight than what people think. I think a lot of these guys are, downplaying this opponent. They don't think he's worthy of fighting Javante Davis. I beg to differ. He gave Abner Mars all Abner Mars could fucking handle, and Abner Mars was a unified champion in the same division. So I think this is a fucking awesome fight. This fight will be for the WBA regular title. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Do you guys think that this guy Jesus Silar will have a fighter's chance, a puncher's chance, or do you think he's do you think he's outgunned? What do you got? What do you think, Ty?
Um,
Oh,
well, I
and the
think
guy. Oh, one more note. The guy that this is a strong note to y'all, yo, to all everybody in the channel. The guy that Javante Davis is fighting right now is 28-2, with 21 knockouts. So he has a great knockout ratio. But on top of all of that, he's southpaw. So go ahead, Ty. That's a telltale sign. Those southpaws are nothing to play with. And Javante Davis is a southpaw as well.
well, I'm quite familiar with his opponent. You want my honest opinion? I'd like to see Tank
I'll
in
be
there.
right. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll hold her down. I'd like to see Tank in there. It's not the first opponent I'd like to see Tank in with. I mean, it's not a bad fight. I think it looks better on paper than what it's going to look like in the ring. But I think, in my honest opinion, I think Davis is going to stop him. What do you guys think? You guys familiar with Tank's opponent? The next one that he's got coming up? I can see you guys' comments, so go ahead, give your input, questions, whatever you like.
So yeah, what were you saying?
Oh, I would pretty well say it in a nutshell that I would have liked to see, in my honest opinion, Tank fight somebody a little bit better, but I think it's a good fight. But I think it's a better fight on paper, and it's going to be in the ring. I think Tank Davis is going to stop him.
The comment section is going ham over here, man. Shout out to all the respect and the love that y'all show me, man, and show this channel. We're growing pretty fast. I mean, I've already got 100 subs in 1 month, from having 0. I appreciate all the love and support, man. So shout out to all the fans, man. Thanks, Ronald Finkel, for good words. But yeah, Black Promotions was pretty much saying Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah.
So then, Ronald Finkel said, "Yeah, something like that, Andres." And then he said, "Black Horseman says, yeah, he a tough fighter. Ronald Finkel said Crawford and Horn. If either Hall timers Aram can't get their fight going, will get the summer lit up. I hope they still fight, Ty. And it says, I hope Tank gets knocked out for hating on Wilder. That's another thing I was talking about earlier. I don't know if you were in here when I said he was hating on Wilder. We talked about that in here. Then he says, that was Black Fight, that black horseman that said that. Ronald Finkel said, not too familiar with him, honest. Cal Enigma said, I'm not familiar either. Ronald Finkel said, I tried to pay to PayPal that account. It's different. I have to fix it. Oh, all right. Thanks for shouting out, Callie, man, for trying to donate to the channel, man. All love, man, for real. Thank you for trying to donate. Yeah, my PayPal is on Corey Lee Boxing, the PayPal. So the link should be in the description. So yeah, Cal Enigma said, I like this setup. I think you guys will blow up in a year. Yeah, man. I mean, like I said, Ty Legacy pushed me tooth and nail, dude, to do this shit, dude. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it, man. What's the worst I can get? Get a troll or two? I mean, like I said, man, Ty Legacy's just chilling at his crib. I get my new laptop tomorrow. I'm on a friend's laptop, and I get my MacBook Pro tomorrow. And then I get my webcam the week after. So we're gonna be up and running, man. We're gonna have, I'm putting my pieces in play to make the channel better for you guys, and we're trying to bring a better insight, man. I think Ty Legacy will be there through the whole way with me, man. And like I said, man, he started his channel out with me pretty much, and like I said, man, Ty Legacy was. I remember when he said I needed to start my own channel, man, back in the Fernando days, man. So shout out to Ty Legacy for giving me the confidence, man. Ronald Finkel, probably going to be my first donator. I ain't going to forget these timely moments, man. It's times like this that you remember your channel being built up, and fans like y'all, being there for me, man, while I'm building it up, man. But, I did a couple shows with Fernando, and that put me on the map, and, I'm here, man. Fernando told me I need to do my own shit too. Stop commenting on his shit. So it's like, man, just do your own shit, man. Shit,
Well, that's what inspired me to do it, because Fanon, I actually was the one that got Fanon on the live streams too. Not to take credit for it, but that's what happened. He mentions it once in a while. And then he got me. I think I was the first subscriber he asked to go on the show. I didn't ask him. He added me on the YouTube Messenger the same as I did you, and he's like, how do you feel about coming on the channel and speaking? And I was like, well, I like to talk. If I ain't talking boxing with somebody else, I'll be sitting here talking boxing myself. So it kind of inspired me just to get my own channel running with a bunch of people talking on it. So it's pretty fun. It's easy to set up.
Shout out Ty Legacy, man. It won't be no Corey Lee Boxing without Ty Legacy, man. Giving me the go ahead, and all the other fans from years and years of being on everybody else's channels, man. I'm finally here. We're finally doing it. But yeah, man. So and we're gonna go live again tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, if Ty Legacy's free, we're gonna be going live again tomorrow, y'all. But to get back onto the some of these points, before we wrap it up, I think that Gervonta Davidson, the fighter that he's fighting now, like I said, he's got Abner Mars on his record. He's got Jonathan Quindo on his record. He's got Vic Darchinian on his record. I remember Vic Darchinian was a notable opponent back in the day. Since I'm a casual, I wouldn't know about Vic Darchinian if I'm a casual, right?
Yeah.
So, then he fought Juan Manuel Lopez, KO'd him. He's KO'd all these guys I'm naming, and like I said, man, he fought some pretty good guys, man. I mean, Juan Manuel Lopez in his heyday was a pretty good fighter, man. And the guy that Gervonta Davis is fighting now, he's actually fighting for the vacant WBA. Oh wow. They upgraded it, y'all. It's not the regular title anymore. It's the WBA Super World title.
It's
wow.
The Super World, yeah.
Wow. It was the regular at first. Remember, Ty?
Yeah.
It was the regular at first.
Yes, sir.
Being with TMT can upgrade you, baby.
Yup.
I think that's got Floyd Mayweather's name written all over it, dude. I think that's got Floyd Mayweather's name written all over it. You know what I'm saying? Because Abner Mares, he lost to Abner Mares, and that was for the WBA World Featherweight title, and that was for the regular title. And you would
Yup.
think that Abner Mares would get a shot, since he's fighting Leo Santa Cruz, you would think that he would fight him next, you know what I mean, for that title. But Leo Santa Cruz and Abner Mares, I guess they're fighting for the regular title. But yeah, man, Javante Davis is fighting for the super title, dude. That's awesome, man.
Yup.
Wow. And I mean, I think that'd be awesome for him to fight him and stuff like that for that title, man. And he's like Ty Legacy. He was like, how is CBC Sports and Boxing? That's what.
How CBC Sports Channel in general shows a lot of hockey down here in Canada. Um, if that answers your question.
And
I don't
Black
know if
Horseman. Oh, Black
I don't know if
Horseman.
CBC shows boxing, but
Oh, he's talking about Canada Channel.
yeah, CBC Sports Canada channel. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cali Enigma brought up a good point, man. Damn, you gonna have us up here all night, man. But fuck it, man. I ain't got work tomorrow. But Cali Enigma said Jack versus Stevenson's. Who do y'all have winning, man? Ty Legacy, man. I'll let you go first, dude.
Jack versus Adonis Stevenson. So we know that
Wow, great
Adonis.
fight.
We know Adonis Stevenson's got power. That's not even in question. He got power in that left hand. I don't believe he's just a one-handed fighter, but that's his main attribute. And then we got Badu Jack, who is still somewhat in the acclimation process of moving up to 175 because he had one fight there because he smoked fucking cleverly. As of right now, on the spot, I'm going to slightly lean towards Stevenson.
But don't quote him on that, y'all. He might change his mind fight night.
Oh yeah, I'm bipolar with that shit. I always make a rule. You can't change it on fight night, but I don't know if it's because I'm a thinker. When I take boxing, I take it seriously. I'll watch their last 5 fights. I'm looking intensively to my best ability, the technical aspects of each fighter. I'm seeing if one fighter can offset this, if the other fighter can offset that. So, but as of right now, I'm gonna slightly lean towards Stevenson based on he has more experience.
If you would have a percentage, man, how much percentage would you put on the guy you picking?
Right now, 60-40 Stevenson.
Oh, the percentage breakdown. What's up? So yeah, Cali Enigma said he said IG, he said he doesn't, it's night night. Cali Enigma said avoid that left hand, talking about Badu Jack. He said if he doesn't, it's night night. Okay. And then Black Horseman said Badu Jack. He said Badu gets buckled. Ronald Finkel said Ty Legacy, he's like absolute obsolete. I never hear about Jack or Stevenson fighting. Cali Enigma said that left hand is devastating. All right, so my take on it, guys, you know what I'm saying, and ladies, if they're watching, I think, man, Badu Jack, dude, is a beast, man. I think he got Jack the Ripper one time. He got beat the fuck up one time. He got dropped. I think it was a flash knockout type loss. I think he wasn't even sweating when he got knocked out by the guy. And it was very early in the first round or the second round. And like I said, I don't think he got ready for it. He didn't see the punch coming. And those are the ones that knock you out, But
Yeah.
he's bounced back pretty strong. I thought he beat James DeGale. I thought that was a back and forth fight. I thought that was a telltale fight, saying that he still had something left. James DeGale has a huge amateur pedigree, if not being a gold medalist, which I think he was. And that's another thing, man. James DeGale has fallen from grace, and that's another thing, y'all, for the guys in the chat. James DeGale is fading Caleb Truax. If you would have watched me and Ty Legacy's first show we did yesterday, we talked about that, us figuring it out at the same time. We were like, dude, the fight's coming on April 7th, dude. We didn't even know about this fight coming up, dude. The rematch is April 7th, 2 weeks from now, man. So they're gonna be fighting in 2 weeks. It hasn't been publicized. I didn't see any fucking banners up about Caleb Truax versus James DeGale part two. So the part two is coming up, y'all.
Yep.
And but yeah, back to the Jack Stevenson's, man. Stevenson has a devastating left hand, like the guy Cali Enigma was talking about, man. That left hand, dude, is thunderous, and it's not a joke. It's to be respected. Adonis Stevenson's left hand is probably the most powerfulest left hand in boxing. You know what I mean? I mean, that shit is lethal, dude. He sleeps guys with that left hand, but he can also get slept too because he got slept by a journeyman. A lot of people don't talk about that one loss he got, but that was the same. He fought the same guy that gave tons and tons of fighters coming up the prospect way. You know, like we were talking about. You know, Ryan Garcia, the prospects. The guy he fought. You know, I can't remember his name right off the top, but he fought Darnell Boone. That's who Adonis Stevenson fought. Darnell Boone slept, and when I mean slept, I seen the video. He slept Adonis Stevenson, and Adonis Stevenson beat him on the rematch, brutally beat him. But when I mean Darnell Boone slept him, he slept him, and he's open
Yep.
for that. You know, he's open for that. He's open to get hit. You know, Fonfara hit him, knocked him down, and Adonis Stevenson's not perfect. He's there to be hit. You know, he's
Yes,
definitely
sir.
there to be hit. Cali Enigma says, he said, I got Jack too. He said, I wanted to get someone else's opinion, and I'm trying not to be biased. He said that left hand is top secret. Yeah, I mean, he said, because I haven't seen him on TV in a year. Yeah, man, dude. And he said Black Horseman Promotions. I hope Badu wins, but Stevenson's look too much like a silverback. He got hands. Yeah, shout out Black Horseman, man. But yeah, man, before we wrap this show up, I want to talk about Wilder Joshua, man. It's a hot topic, man. And it's
Yep.
something that I really want to get off my mind, man. I really want to get off my mind. I want to talk to you about it. My boy Fernando been going rabid about it lately. And
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
it's just a topic, man, that's we're gonna probably talk about tomorrow on tomorrow's show. I think we're gonna probably do around maybe what time is good for you so we can tell the viewers so far around before 12 or after 12?
Um, Maybe let's try before 12 because
All
I
right.
got some company
So
coming over. I got my boy coming down from my hometown, so I
so we're
think it'd
gonna
be
do it.
safe.
So we're gonna do an early show, y'all. So we're gonna do an early show tomorrow, man. I'm off. Like I said, I'm a heavy machine operator. The grounds are still wet where I live at. I'm in the East Coast, and like I said, my boss said you're off until Monday, and he told me that yesterday. So I don't mind, sitting on my ass and talking to y'all about boxing. It's something I love to do. But yeah, man, I'm gonna shoot for it. So tomorrow before 12, you heard it here first. And we're gonna have a live show tomorrow. I'm trying not to get in between 78 and Fanons. I'm trying to do one before they get on, or you know what I mean, and do their thing. But me and Ty will be back tomorrow. But yeah, so yeah, about the Joshua and Ortiz said, yeah, they took down Kovalev getting dropped by Darnell Boone on
Yes,
YouTube. Oh,
Darnell
y'all trying to
Boone.
look for that? Y'all trying to look for that?
Darnell Boone might not win every fight, but Darnell Boone goddamn well drops almost everybody. There's no shame at all in dropping. He dropped Ward too. There's no shame in getting dropped by Boone. Cracks, man. He drops everybody.
Yeah, man, and like I said, man, it's gonna be an awesome, awesome throwdown, man. And like I said, matter of fact, man, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up now, man. And what it is we're gonna leave y'all for something to look at tomorrow, man. We're gonna talk about Anthony Joshua and Luis Ortiz saga, and the whole apple juice saga, ash juice saga, and we're gonna talk about all of that tomorrow, man. And we're gonna talk about Deontay Wilder, and if he doesn't fight Joshua, who will be his next fighter? Looking forward to that, man. But any
Yeah.
final thoughts, Ty Legacy, man, before we wrap it up? I think we've been going strong all night, man. I think we got at least an hour in there.
Yeah. I think we got over an hour. I put in your comment section because I was off today, so I got some sleep. I've been wanting to do Q&A for a while, so if it's not too late, whatever regions and area you guys are from, if you want to pop over my channel, we can do Q&A. I'll go live. You could just subscribe to my channel, or even if you don't want to subscribe, just go to it. If you do want to subscribe, I think you can go right through this chat and click on my avatar and put go to channel and subscribe. But I'm thinking about I might go live here in about 10 to 15 minutes.
All right, Ty, man. Like I said, man, it was another great show, man. I'm gonna get some shout outs so we can do this, do this video in the morning. And we're gonna come with some heat in the morning, man. So you guys be ready, be up, man, and show the the channel some love. And it was awesome, video. I think this is one of our first successful videos. The first one was kind of a trial and error. We weren't answering comments. I got a couple guys left. They were like, "What the fuck? They're not answering questions." And
Yeah.
I mean, we pretty much, dropped the ball on that one. But I think we got it right on this one, man. We've been going strong for about an hour or more. And, me and Ty Legacy will be back tomorrow before, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So we'll be on before, tomorrow Eastern time. Early in the morning between, I'm thinking between 9 and 12 range. We'll be on live tomorrow. And this is Corey Lee Boxing, dude. Signing out, man. Peace.
Peace.